Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 171 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekly edition and we are back from our little journey on the weekend. And I'm standing by my yet to be finished cabinetry with drawers and everything, and the countertop is missing. I need to get this done quickly because I could potentially have students coming up. So if you want to see what I'm going to tackle in this week's video, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, yeah, I'm standing in my unfinished area here and it needs to get done fairly quickly. There's a good chance that I might have students again in the next 2-3 weeks, so I need some of this done. It's an absolute catastrophe here. Thank goodness the camera doesn't catch everything that's wrong in this shop right now, because right now there's a lot. But anyway, what I need to get done is I need to fasten these together, put it in against the wall, and I need to get that countertop on that I started in chapter 169. So in chapter 169, I glued 2 sections together, and then, no, I don't, well, I'm not sure. No, I didn't. I didn't glue them together. That's coming. So yeah, we're gonna go and I'm gonna show you that countertop. I actually have it done now. I'm shooting this a little bit out of sequence, and I love it. It looks great. So with that in mind, we're gonna switch over to what I did, and these countertops are amazing. Well, in the last video that I worked on this countertop, I only really finished the first, not quite half. So I showed you how I glued that together. The remainder of it, I think about 14 inches, I just finished laminating yesterday, and I planed it this morning and made it the same thickness as the other one, and they are now ready to glue. So I have not glued them together yet. I wanted to put them together with no glue just to see how good the quality of the jointing was at the end. And I'm going to leave it. This would be pretty hard to run over the jointer. And I'm not convinced my portable power plane would do any better. And maybe with a lot of time, I could do it with a hand plane. But it's really nice and tight all the way along till about here. There's about an 8-inch section. And the reason that is because one of my plies here, I used a little scrap at the end, and it's thinner than the other one. So that way there's a little bit of a crack. But I'm going to put glue, and then this is going to get finished with epoxy. So I'm not terribly worried about it. So anyway, my plan is to get this glued together today, and I've got a few things I need to get organized here, and then we'll glue it up. Well, I think I've got everything I need to glue this together. Got my little roller and the little tray of glue over there. I'm doing this just on my table saw work area here, and I don't have any paper or anything underneath, so I'm going to end up making a mess. But it is kind of messy anyway from the laminating and the work that I've done on it, so I'm going to have to re-clean it again. So I'm going to get this glued, and then we'll worry about that later. So I really always like to have glue to glue, and I label this all so that I have the right side up. There is a better side to this, and I wanted to make sure that was up. So I'm going to try to carry this with me. This is that one little board here. There's about 14 inches where it's just a little thinner. And I guess I could joint that and get that all off, but I really didn't feel like running that long a piece and that amount of weight through my jointer because I don't think I could have held it steady enough to make a proper edge anyway. And I was pleasantly surprised when I put this together dry, how good it was. So there we go. I've got one edge done. Now I'm going to put this down. I'm going to tip the other one up first. And then I'm going to put this one down. And yeah, chances are there's going to be a little bit of run out, and it's going to end up on my table saw. But like I said, we'll sacrifice a little bit of cleaning here for the greater good. I'm really looking forward to having this countertop on and the cabinetry completed as well. And I'm not far away. It's just that I need to get time to do it. And that's going to be a little bit of a problem now because I will have classes, I would expect, I'll have classes starting up again relatively soon here, probably beginning of October. I would like to start now already, but I just need to get some things done. And at the beginning, those classes always take a little more work than I anticipate. Well, not really. It's more work to get started than I know what to do with. So anyway, that's enough glue. Now I'm going to tip this down. I'm really happy with the way this worked out. I might actually say that so far this has been, so far this may have been the best counter that I've done to date. It looks really good. Tap the ends even. I put these two 1/2-inch pipe clamps down basically just to hold it off of the table saw. And when you have everything pre-clamped, everything fits again. So now I'm just holding it flush here. That's really nice. And I will tighten these up. There's just a wee little bit of a crown this way and this, and I want to get most of that out yet. But for right now, I'm just going to put the clamps back on. Try to get the joint even on top. Ooh, that's feeling really good. I was pleasantly surprised with the way this went together. Boy, will I ever be glad to have that done. I've got so much stuff that needs to go in there. And I haven't even been able to sharpen anything, chisels or turning tools, since I tore this all apart. Oh, I don't even remember when that was anymore. But it was a while ago. Well, that one's a little higher, but that's pretty good. Okay, well, we happen to have a level here. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a crown up, and that's to be expected when you just put pipe clamps on from one side. So I don't know if I've got enough clamping pressure underneath here to straighten this. So that one's holding really good. I don't like galvanized pipe for pipe clamps because galvanized seems to, the end wants to slide out. Oh, that has made an amazing difference. Wow. Well, it's a little bit. I don't expect to get this perfect, but I want it as good as I can get it. This isn't necessarily a countertop. Oh, man, that's heavy. This isn't going to be a countertop that I'm going to be working on per se. It'll hold up the grinder and sharpening stuff and things like that. Okay. Ooh, that's... Yeah, I'm going to end up with some touch-up on my countertop here on my table saw stuff. But like I said, this is for the greater good here. Yeah, this one, the other end doesn't want to stay locked. That thing's useless. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to retighten this here. Maybe you don't have to tighten it up quite as much. That looks good. Yeah, that's the same thing. I wish this one would bite. There it is. Just didn't go quite far enough. Okay, that might help. Oh yeah, that helped a lot. That's a little bit of a dip. I think that'll do. Okay, well, yeah, it's got a small little dish in it, but I think I'm going to let the glue dry now, and I think tomorrow morning I'll get in here and take the clamps off, maybe sand out that glue line a little bit. That's about all I've got. So yeah, I think sanding that'll be easy. And then I've got a little bit of work to get the boxes, the cabinet boxes. Got to screw them together. The pine faces on all of them. And my goal is to get the countertop on quickly, so that I can mount my grinder back on so I can sharpen again, some of that stuff. So anyway, I'll bring you back when this is dry, and I'll take the clamps off, and we'll do a little bit of sanding, and we're going to finish the boxes off to install the countertop. We will be back. Well, it's the next day. This glued together really, really nicely. There's just one seam right down there that I needed to glue, and it is time for the clamps to come off. We'll just put them here for now. We'll put them away later. My shop is an absolute disaster. I need to spend, I need to spend some time cleaning up in here. That's going to happen fairly soon, because it looks like there'll most likely be enough interest for classes again this year. I haven't talked the finances with those interested yet, but that's going to come up in the next little while here. That might determine who is going to attend and who isn't. That's a difficult thing, pricing that stuff. When I worked in the school system, we never had to worry about that. But yeah, it does cost a reasonable amount to run this place. So anyway, we'll work it out and we'll see what happens. Okay, well, I'm not going to do all the work on this thing on camera. Basically, I'm going to take you through the stages. And the first thing that I think I would do, now that the clamps are off, that, like this, in my opinion, the plain parts, this wood must have been just a little bit damp. I was going to say the plain parts were kind of ready for finish already, but this, as I was saying, this wood must have been a little bit damp, and what's happened is when it went through the planer, maybe the grain compressed a little bit, and now that it's drying, it's popping up. So I can feel some ridges. So this is going to need to be sanded with this. This is the oldest palm sander or random orbital sander that I have. And I hated this sander for the longest of time because the Velcro that they put on these sanders from new isn't very good. I have two Bosch sanders that the paper doesn't want to stay on. But I just replaced the Velcro on the sander with some new stuff, like heavy duty stuff, and it works really good now. But yeah, the first thing to do would be to sand this joint all the way along. And I'm just going to do a little bit at this end for you. There we go. Well, that's just a little bit, and it needs a wee bit more sanding yet, but it's feeling really good. I think maybe I'll need to change, although this feels really good yet. But anyway, so that would be kind of the first stage. I would go through and sand the whole thing. And I will do that at some point, but for the sake of the video today, I'm not going to do it right now. So the next thing I would do is actually cut the countertop to the right size. Now this end, it's a little bit kind of not straight because this is just a rough glued end. So what I'm going to do is just take a wee little bit off. I'm going to mark this, but then I'm going to check the length. Boy, I forget what the measurement was. I thought it was 116 inches. Way back here. I don't know if you can see me, but yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so it'll be a wee bit less than that, and not that that'll matter. And technically, I could get away without straightening this, because there's probably going to be some type, some type of backsplash going on this side. So I could get away with this, but I like things straight, so I am just going to cut this with my circular saw, and away we go. There we go. That looks okay. There. Yeah, I like the grain, the way that worked out in here. There's a lot that's running straight up and down, so technically quarter sawn, but it's all glued together, so that's going to be wonderful. Now, what I should do, I'm going to play with the other end just a little bit, but I'm a little hesitant. Excuse me. I'm a little hesitant to cut that now before I get the cabinetry screwed together and pushed into place, because I want this corner of my cabinetry to work out in a nice manner. Now I have some lines here already, and I think those were right. So I'm just going to take a pencil. Remember, none of this is sanded yet, so I can change this whenever I want. But I'm just going to see what this looks like. Yeah, that looks about right. This is not a 45-degree angle. I was thinking it might be, but I decided it looked better when it wasn't. And, oh, there's my tape measure hiding behind my saw. I just need to see what this measures to at the front. Yeah, that's a little, I think I'd like it a little more. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to cut it a tad oversized. I'm just going to get, actually, maybe I don't have to. This will work. That's about as long as I can make it. Boy, I've got a lot of traffic here. Too many lines. I'll just... There we go. Now I'm going to measure that front again. I know what I think it approximately should be. Well, I think that's about as long as I can make it anyway. And I'm pretty sure that'll be good. Yep, I'm going to go for it. We're going to cut it. Oh, this thing is heavy though. There's no lack of weight with this thing. Okay, let's get in here. Oh, what a time to run out of charge. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, do I have anything else? See, the problem is, again, I'm working outside on a little bit of a concrete project, and all my stuff is in the other building because I'm using it there, and I don't know if I have a battery. Let me check here. Just, nope, I don't. So, okay, well, let's see if I can chew a little more with this one. Maybe it'll get this piece off here. There we go. Well, I think you've seen enough cutting anyway, so I'll just leave this here. I'll finish this later. The next thing that I am going to do to it is I am just going to put a little round over on both sides. So one thing nice about having many routers is that I tend to load the bit that I think that router is good for, and I leave it in there. And that way I don't have anything set up. This one was set up for doing the round over on my OSB drawer project, and it'll work perfectly for this. So I'm going to do, should this be sanded first and perfectly straight? Yes. But like I said, it's probably going to get covered. So actually, I'm not even going to do this. That's right. This isn't going to be necessary. The front is where this needs to be done. And I will do both sides, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to do one. Let's see if I can get all tangled up here. Here, let's move this out of the way. Try to be a little bit more organized. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that's just it. That just takes the sharp edge off of it. I like that. And so what I'll do is, those are the operations that I'm going to use to get this countertop uh, ready to install on the bases. So what I'll do is I'm going to work on this off camera and get it done, and then I'll bring you back at the very end and show you what it looks like. I really like the looks of these, and you know, at 1.5 inches thick, they're nice and tough. Uh, the, I don't know, even the epoxy finish I've been so happy with. So yeah, I have a kit of epoxy. We'll dump it on here when it's installed, and life will be good. Okay, I'll bring you back when this is done. Well, here it is. It's all sanded. I eventually got tired of this little 5-inch random orbital and went to my 3x21 belt sander, which worked okay. It's not perfectly flat, and I've been sanding with 80 grit. So rightly or wrongly, my theory is that there's a little more tooth for the epoxy to grab, and I'm not going to go any further than 80 grit. Yes, I did flip it over, and I lightly sanded the underside. Basically just took the ridges off of it. So, and then I finished cutting this and sanding it, rounded the edges like I'd started in the previous segment, and I'm very happy with this. This is going to be great. I have now made, this is the fourth laminated countertop like this out of pine, and I love them all. They're great. Throw some epoxy over them and they are as durable as anything you'd want. Now, if you really want something that's for assembly and it needs to be perfectly flat, this may not be the best way to work, but I think even if a guy wanted to make this perfectly flat, you could, and I think it would stay that way as well. But I'm good with this. I've got a little bit of a groove where the joint was. The rest is really nice. So if a person was really serious about this, and once you got it glued together, maybe taking it to a millworks place and having it sanded professionally might be the way to do it. But for what I'm going to use this for, this is great. So anyway, if you're looking to build some countertop for your shop and you want something nice and tough and durable, this is a great way to go. So with that in mind, the next thing that I'll do, not sure if it'll be the next video, but I'm going to start working on getting the cabinets fastened together, the modules, and then throw this on, because I need to get this going. I potentially have students coming maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, and I need a place to be able to sharpen everything. So my grinders need to get mounted on here as soon as it's done. So anyway, with that in mind, thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the weekend edition.